And welcome to Sports by Compion. My name, of course, is Stephen Compion, and I am joined here by some excellent guests and my wonderful co-host, Mr. Dan Gill. Dan, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great, buddy. How about yourself?
Oh, just living the dream. It's great to see you here with yet another new pair of sunglasses, Dan. You are just an absolute treat. Every time this guy shows up, we get a new pair of sunglasses, and it's just absolutely wonderful to see.
I think we're up to 4 now.
Love it, love it. And we're
Spoiler, though, it's probably going to cap at 4.
well, don't worry, I'll send you some in the mail.
Thank you.
And of course, we have an excellent returning guest from us, Christopher Compion, here to cover all of your fight needs for you. Talk about some UFC, talk about some bare knuckle fighting. Chris, how are you today, sir?
Oh, fantastic. I missed the sunglasses memo, so I'm over here sunglass challenged.
That's okay. That's okay. Your beard makes up for it because it's looking extra powerful today. Have you been running a comb through that today, sir?
Absolutely, with a little beard oil and everything.
Oh wow, what an absolute champion! So anyway, boys, let's hop into this. We're gonna start with a past UFC event that just took place. Fight night was in the Apex Center. Chris, what do you have to say about these fights? You want to start towards the bottom here, and we'll work our way up.
Let's start with my boy Jim Miller from New Jersey. He's having himself a fantastic career. He's 39 years old, 42 fights in the UFC, boys. 42.
42 in the UFC?
Right, and he's won 4 of his last 5. He just KO'd this kid Jesse Butler, who he was actually a short notice replacement. Only 2 days notice, but Jim still KO'd him in 23 seconds.
Whew. Yeah, that's a fast one.
Yeah, he has 15 years in the UFC. He's been around since 2008. He's got 25 wins in the UFC. That's actually the most wins in UFC history.
Holy cow, man. There's been some names in the UFC for him to have the most wins. That's amazing.
The most wins at 25, yep. And a few other of his stats, since we're on the Jim Miller bandwagon at the moment. He's got the most wins in the lightweight division. That's 155, and those are some dangerous lads. Those are those guys can usually combine quickness with a bit of power and stuff. And he's got the most finishes in the lightweight division, second most finishes in the UFC.
Wow.
He's got the most. Yeah.
How have I heard of this guy? Jeez.
Yeah, he's from Jersey too.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's got most bouts in the UFC at 42, and most bouts in the lightweight division. He ties Damian Maia for most submission wins. Damian Maia is known as like the jiu-jitsu guy in the UFC.
So this guy can knock you out or choke you out, huh?
That's right. He's a very dangerous
Lethal
fellow.
from all angles.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Is he being considered for like a title shot or what?
Yeah, he might get his chance pretty soon. He definitely has the respect of the fighters, and he's a class act dude. I'm sure the management likes him. So he's not a shit talker and stuff. So usually that kind of stuff sells fights. So
right.
Guys like that will usually get their shot before a quiet guy. But we'll see what happens between Beneil Dariush and who the fuck is he fighting? I'm sorry. Charles Oliveira. Really, whoever wins that will probably get a title shot against Islam Makhachev. But if one of them, if they drop out or something, Jim Miller's a decent replacement there, so that could happen.
Cool. You said he's 38 years old?
He's 39.
39. So he's getting up there. He needs to get his shot soon.
Exactly.
But good for him. Sounds like he's kicking ass.
Yeah. So he's doing just fine. And then the headliner, Kaikar France.
Hang on, let me pull that up.
Albazi. That was a really close fight. Albazi won the decision, mostly just by coming forward. Even though he was kind of being outstruck, he just kept coming with the aggression. and it was a real close fight. But yeah, he won it, so
Good
good
for
for
him.
him.
Split
Yep,
decision over
congrats.
there, huh? So it was a very
Yeah,
close fight.
it was, sure was. And uh, Kaikar France is out of City Kickboxing, which is in Auckland, New Zealand.
Hang on, is that a different fight? Let me just pull.
No, 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 no.
No, that's Auckland.
I'm
Okay,
just
yeah,
talking about
yeah,
City
yeah.
Kickboxing for a minute because they've got to be doing some legit shit over there. They have Israel Adesanya, who's the 185 champion right now, and Alex Volkanovski. Volk is the bantamweight champion. So they got some champions, they got contenders. They have fighters in all the major promotions. Obviously UFC, Bellator, One Fighting Championship. The works. They got some good names on there. Dan Hooker is also out of there. Tyson Pedro, he's a UFC fighter.
I've heard of Dan Hooker, obviously. He's been out there
Yeah, Dan Hooker's awesome.
for sure.
Yep.
Last thing I want to say real quick about Jim Miller before we moved on. I mean, just pulling up those pictures, it goes to show, man, looking jacked is not everything. Because like his opponent was way more jacked than him, and like my boy out there with kind of a beer guts, like out there, like yeah, anyway, let me knock you the hell out.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, both
Full
these guys look
Strong
like
enough jaw.
they're in great shape. What was that, Dan?
So you got a strong enough jaw to handle their shots.
True, true. Any final words about this main headliner?
No, it was a good fight, and good for Albazi. That's a solid win right there. That probably moves him up the ranks.
Good for him. Featherweight division. Good to see these
Yeah.
guys getting after it. Anything to say about the ladies, Miss Hill and Darren?
Well, that was the previous one.
Oh
That
yeah, I'm
was
sorry.
Monday.
I went too
Went too
far.
far back. Yeah.
All right, so
But
that's Alex
yeah, that
Cestro.
was fight of the night. That was fight of the night. Bruce Leroy versus Daniel Pineda. That was a pretty good fight. Alex Caceres, he was on I forget which season of The Ultimate Fighter he came
Yeah, I
up
think I
in,
remember
but
him.
yeah, he didn't even win the season, but he was dangerous. Obviously, still is quite dangerous and getting better for sure.
Good for him. How old is he?
Yeah. I'm not super sure. He's still pretty young, and he
Got to
se
be in
he
his
seems to really enjoy it.
got to be in his 30s, right?
Yeah, probably.
You know what? I do think I remember that from when he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He definitely seemed like he was just having fun out there and very passionate
Yep.
about it.
Yep. Always had a smile on his face. A lot of guys like the training and being a fighter more than actually being in a cage bleeding, but he seems to love it all. So that should definitely lend to a long career for him.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yep. Yep. So that was fight of the
34.
night.
And then so that's Jim Miller we talked about. Anything to say
Oh,
about
Jim
Tim and
Elliott. That was a good win for him. He just got divorced, poor guy. So
He's gonna need some
yeah,
money then, poor
So
bastard.
yeah. So he seems like he took a
that or he
lot of
has
that
extra
with him.
motivation.
Yeah, yeah. Bring some of
Both.
that in the cage with him.
Both for sure. So good for Tim Elliott. Gets a decision win, unanimous though. So it seems like he took care of business against I guess Mr. Victor here. Good
Yep,
old
yep.
Mexican fighter
Definitely,
Victor, huh?
definitely handled that dude. And
And then looks like
so
we had some ladies get after it. Both
yeah,
Brazilian.
yeah. It was a pretty decent night of not a whole lot of super well known names on these Vegas cards, but people looking to move their way up. And this guy Santos, anytime you can beat Nurmagomedov, you had a good night.
Oh, I've heard of no
Well,
Medov.
yeah, there's a bunch of them, is what I mean. They're those Kazakhstani fighters are usually really tough.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. So yeah, good for Mr. Santos pulling off a good win there. Another Dos Santos from Brazil. There's not
Yeah,
nearly enough of them.
yeah,
Oh wait, no, he is from Brazil, right? Yeah, he is.
yeah. That must be like Smith or something over there.
For real.
Silva is also a real common name down there.
Bunch of guys trying to be the next
Yeah,
Anderson Silva, I guess.
But my boy Andrei Arlovski got TKO'd. But
He's
he's a
still going.
pretty
He's still doing this. Yeah, he
that's
is.
what I'm saying. He's 44 years old, dude.
Holy cow!
He's got 58 fights. He's a
Oof.
total set. He's been in the game as long as anybody.
Yeah, I
34
mean,
wins.
Brendan Shaw beat him back in the day, right? Or did he lose to him?
He lost to him. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So he's got 34 wins, 22 losses, 17 knockouts, 3 submissions. So he occasionally, submits someone.
If he needs to, but mostly tries to knock him out.
Yep, yep. But this fellow over here,
Mr. Myers,
yeah, Dayton Mays, yeah,
Mays.
he got him. He knew he wasn't going to win a decision against the crafty old vet, so he went in there and handled his business.
That's a freaking scary looking dude. I wouldn't want to. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to see him in a dark alley.
Fuck that dude.
You know what's funny about him? He got a athletic scholarship to college, got thrown out for fighting. It wasn't his first time fighting, so finally they're like, "All right, buddy, you're constantly fighting." So they throw him out, and he's like, "Well, fuck it, I'm gonna make a career out of fighting." And here he is.
Nice. Good for him. Good for him. He does look like a frisky guy. I wouldn't want to piss him off on a football field either, or whatever it is he was playing.
Yep. But Arlovski was the heavyweight champion back in 2005.
Holy cow, man!
Yeah,
That is a
yeah.
long time to be in the fight game, taking punches
Yep.
and such.
Yeah, he beat Tim Sylvia for that title, so that was a pretty good win.
Do you think we may have seen the last of Orlovsky after getting knocked out here? Or you think he'll be back?
He'll be back. I mean, there's really no telling how long he'll hang out. He's been around. He's been in all the big organizations. He's fought in Strike Force, World Series of Fighting, uh, Elite FC, One FC, M1. He even fought Fedor in Affliction. Fedor knocked him out.
Wow.
That was a pretty crazy fight.
Was this a steroided up Fedor? Or?
No, Fedor was never one for steroids. You
Okay,
tell
I'm confusing with
his
someone else.
body,
Then.
he didn't look like he spent too much time with the weights.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and honestly, back then it's hard to tell who was on the juice and who wasn't.
Right. Fair enough. So no juice for that guy. Anything to say about any of these other prelims? John or Mooney?
I mean, I was kind of bummed for Damien Malarkey. I like him, but there's a lot of dangerous dudes out there.
Good old Australian lads. I think was he on an Ultimate Fighter as well?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. But that's cool. So so you're saying that these UFC events, I mean the Vegas ones, they're kind of separate. They don't necessarily get the whole number like a UFC number, right?
Well, they just number them. They number them differently.
Okay.
They just number them as the Apex.
It's not like the main pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. They're not pay-per-view. Yeah.
Gotcha. Do these ones show up on ESPN Plus probably?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing is with the.
I mean, I think you still got to pay for it though.
Well, yeah, you pay for the ESPN app. That's the thing with the ESPN deal is, they just require like X amount of fights a year, so they just, throw up these events just to fulfill that contract.
Gotcha.
Which,
Hey,
the hardcore fans still
it's
love
better
it.
for the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. The more the merrier. Really.
Well, that I mean, a lot of these guys like maybe what's the main card for this might have been prelims for like a 280 whatever. So now like you're getting more exposure, you're getting more fights for these guys, and like the board's not as stagnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Any final thought? Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, it was going to be like a different topic, so I won't jump the end of this one, but I have one for a new topic to get Chris's opinion on.
Cool. Before we move on to that, then, does anybody have a non-sponsor sponsor for us today?
Non-sponsored sponsor. That's a good one. I didn't take it back.
If not, I have one.
I mean, I got a great one from a movie. Callahan Auto Parts.
And we'll take
That's
it.
all I got.
Callahan Auto Parts, man. If you need your auto parts, if you're in the movie universe, these guys got you covered. We can roll with that. And just one more to add to that is, of course, Clancy chips. Now, these are some fantastic chips that are excellently priced, about half of what you're going to spend on most other chips, but yet they taste the same as just about all the other chips out there. So if you find yourself in an Aldi out there in the world, get yourself some Clancy chips because they're fantastic.
Just the same as the rest.
Just the
Is
same
that
as the
from
rest,
Aldi's?
better priced. That is an Aldi brand, or I don't know if it's an Aldi brand, but it is sold at Aldi. You may be able to find them in other supermarkets. But frankly, if you have an Aldi near to you, you should probably just go there because it's excellently priced groceries, and similar to the Clancy brand, you're getting the same thing for less.
There you go, Aldi. Sponsor us, baby.
I do it all the
We're here for
time.
it.
Do it, Aldi. Sponsor us, you German brand you.
All day, all the time.
Do it. Anyway, boys, let's move on to some bare knuckle fighting. These guys are like, fuck the gloves. We're just going to punch each other. We have a lovely event coming up here, Mr. Stewart versus Lopez.
Yeah, just young upcoming fighters here. Again, it's a very young sport, so everyone's fairly new. But this kid Kai Stewart's been doing some great work.
Let me roll. I think I clicked on the other guy here. There we go.
They've been getting like good names in there. They're like, isn't Paige Van Zandt in it?
She was. She had
she
a couple
was.
fights. Yeah. She fought she fought a couple girls. I think Pearl Gonzalez was one of them. Another chick, Rachel Ostovich. But she lost too. So she's like 0 for 2 in bare knuckle, and they were paying her a lot. And like now she makes way more money just like taking pictures in a bikini. So I don't think she'll be back.
Good, and honestly, she's too hot to be getting punched in the face with no gloves on.
Exactly, especially without gloves. She's like, nah, forget this. I'm just gonna do OnlyFans.
Absolutely.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Greg Hardy also go there at some point, or is he not?
Yeah. Greg Hardy got knocked out.
That's what I thought.
By this tatted up dude. What the hell was his name? But yeah, he got knocked the fuck out. That was nice. You know what's hilarious? I was just listening to a podcast today about Greg Hardy. He's just really into beating women.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Greg Hardy. Yeah, the ex-Panther. Yeah. I was thinking of entirely different Greg.
Kicked out of the UFC, that's why he got kicked out of the NFL.
Yep, and then I'm sorry, the NFL. You're right. And then he went over to the UFC, and he won a couple, but then he started losing, and they got rid of him because he wasn't popular.
Well, yeah, no one liked him.
Not exactly confirmed, but I heard a rumor that he works at Walmart now.
I also saw him in his Walmart shirt, and everyone was just absolutely shitting on him. Which
hilarious.
It's
a tough break.
It's a tough break, but it's hard to feel bad for the guy, man. You continue to be an absolute asshole. Turns out things are gonna happen. Didn't he literally like throw a girl onto a pile of guns or something crazy like that?
Yeah,
he sure did. That was definitely one of his sins. And you know what's funny? His last season, he got paid $13 million, and he played I think like one game and got one sack. So the Panthers literally paid $13 million for one sack.
I think it was with the Cowboys, but yeah, you're right.
With the Cowboys, yeah. So that's got to be the most like expensive sack in NFL history.
Got to be. It's definitely up there.
Gotta be.
Absolutely up there. I mean, yeah. Well, as we mentioned, it's hard to feel bad for a guy like that, you know. Wasn't Luke Rockhold recently got knocked out in good old bare knuckle boxing as well, right?
Yeah, Luke Rockhold against Mike Perry. Mike Perry's a fucking bulldog, dude. He's a savage. Like he did good in the UFC when like someone would just stand with him. And then when he went to bare knuckle, that's what he's built for, dude. He's great. But anyway, he made pretty short work of Luke Rockhold. I was really expecting Rockhold to do better, but Platinum Perry just broke his teeth, and Rockhold was like, "That's good enough. My fucking teeth are broken. I'm out."
Yeah, no, that's fair. You break your teeth, it's probably time to call it a day.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a whole different beast.
Yeah, exactly. like with gloves, the pain kind of gets distributed like over kind of a surface area, whereas with bare knuckle, dude, you feel it exactly where you got punched.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, back to this main event here. Our boy Stewart 3-0. I believe the guy he's fighting, Mr. Lopez, only had like one loss himself. So these are two up and coming fighters, huh, Chris?
Yeah, yeah, they're building the division, they're building fighters, they're putting things together over there. Conor McGregor was actually at that event with Luke Rockhold and Mike Perry. He showed up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just doing
Think
Conor McGregor stuff. Who
you think he'll
knows
hop
if
in the ring?
he's just so rich. Actually, I wanted to bring that up because he's a coach on Ultimate Fighter season 31, opposite Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
They're coaching bantamweights and lightweights, and
Interesting.
it's getting real high ratings. It's apparently a popular season. It's like vets versus newcomers kind of thing.
Ah,
But usually after the season, the coaches will fight. And
yep.
usually like
Yeah.
over the course of the season there'll be like some animosity built up, or at least like a real sense of competition, where like they're happy to get in there and throw hands on each other. But Dana White's having a hard time finalizing that's those signings. He's like, these guys are just so rich, it's hard to reel them in, hard to make them do
It's like
anything.
they don't need to fight.
Exactly.
Especially not Connor, dude. That guy's doing so much outside of the ring already.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Connor, he's rich as fuck. He really doesn't need to fight. And Michael Chandler himself, he's been in the game a long time. He's been smart with his money. He's had some big fights. He also, I'm sure, is well set.
Fair
So
enough.
Well,
yeah,
that was like a point that I was going to make earlier. Like when you were talking about how Miller is like the most fights in UFC, like it's wild to see that like some of the greats like GSP, Jones, those guys, like if you really look at it, they have a high win count, but like the overall fights is not that high. So it's
exactly.
kind of like it's just crazy to think that like there's like I mean everybody knows Cowboy. I love Cowboy, but like I think he has the third most fights in UFC history. I think he's like 38, something like that, 38, 39. Like it's wild that like some of these guys like Conor McGregor have like I don't want to say he was a flash in the pan, like that's disrespectful, but like he got really hot really fast
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
like
he
cashed
shot
out
right
on
up
it.
for sure.
And then like you have other guys, like Miller who's putting like 42, 43 belts under his fights under his belt, and it's like it's just wild to think that there's like that disparity in the amount of fights to like yeah, you would think a guy that's won 25 fights and fought 40 some would be, viewed in a higher light by the masses, but
Right.
it's just crazy to think about.
True. Like I mean, I don't know much about the UFC in full disclosure, but yeah, you would think we would have heard the name Jim Miller before tonight. If he's had that many fights, it's kind of a bummer. It kind of goes back to Dana saying he's paying these guys enough. Are you, Dana?
Well, but I mean, I think it comes to like the comment Chris made earlier. Like, if you're a quiet guy, you're not grabbing,
Yeah,
everybody's attention.
exactly. Yep.
Like that's what made guys like McGregor, GSP, Jones, Cormier, like they would talk.
Yep.
You know, it. And I hate saying it. It kind of really started when Brock Lesnar came in and started cutting promos and stuff.
Yep.
But
And to be
like,
fair, he backed it up. Like he did take that
oh
heavyweight
no,
championship
hundred
for a while,
percent.
didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah, he
did.
won the
Yeah,
title. Yep.
but like he kind of first introduced that, like taking shots in the post-fight interviews, like, and now everybody's just ran with it since.
Chael Sonnen too was big on that. He
Oh
was a
yes,
wrestling fan, and oh man, he could cut a promo.
dude, I love. I get lost watching his videos. I forget
Yeah.
what show he was on, but they were asking him about like one fighter, what he thinks about it, and he thought they were off air, and he just laughed. He goes, "No way!" And he goes, "Wait, are we live?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, we're live."
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
Chael Sonnen's
Chael.
always been very amusing for sure. So yeah, as far as this fight goes with Stewart versus Lopez, are you taking Stewart for this one? Hi Tiger, you want to say hi to the camera?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're both up and coming. Should be a good event.
Hefty Bag's a great nickname. Phenomenal nickname for that guy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, you know what's even better is the Combat Wombat.
What?
Yeah, there's a dude from New Zealand called the Combat Wombat.
Love it. Love it. That is pretty great.
Can we just talk about their list of sponsors right there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy man, let's go.
Bucked Up is an energy drink.
I've seen that, yeah.
You know, I saw a dude in the airport with a Lions Not Sheep t-shirt. It looked really stupid. It's one of those real try-hard clothing brands.
Yeah,
I keep getting like ads for Bucked Up, and I'm not. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. I've never even seen it in any stores. I don't know where the hell they sell it.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, I've never seen it anywhere, but I've seen a million ads.
Yeah, right.
I ain't ordering and get it sent to my house because you probably got to order like a minimum of 24 or something crazy like that.
A good buddy of mine, a gym partner, Devin, has a Bucked Up, shaker bottle. So I've seen that brand literally almost every day I go to the gym. So.
Well, maybe he can tell us where to buy some.
Fair enough. I'll ask him. Probably got to go to their website, but yeah, I'll ask him what the minimum order is or whatever.
There's our non-sponsor sponsors part 2.
Dude, but seriously, OnlyFans? That's awesome.
OnlyFans.
That's hilarious.
About half of the bare knuckle chicks all have OnlyFans, so it makes sense that they just like officially sponsor.
Makes sense. That's a good
why
point.
not?
Oh yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Why not? Why not? Indeed. Chris, any thoughts on any of these other fights? Look at this guy's hair.
Yeah, right. Look at that.
Good for him. Dude, this does not look like a guy you should be fighting over here, red hair.
No, I mean, the camera guy screwed up. They don't look like they're in the same weight class.
No, they really don't. No. Like
the one guy's really zoomed in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why so zoomed in on that guy, and then anyway. Yeah, it should be interesting. I don't really know all that much about most of these guys.
That's fun.
You know who's coming back to the UFC is Chris Weidman's.
No way.
For the first time since he
broke
his leg. Yeah.
Wow.
Since he broke his leg on that checked kick from Uriah Hall.
Good to see, man. I would like to see Chris back. He was really good when he was around. Wasn't he like the first one to beat
Anderson Silva? Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah.
He beat Anderson Silva twice.
Yeah, because that was back when Anderson was dangerous, just absolutely killing everybody. So it was
exactly.
It was kind of nice to see his mantle taken. To be honest, you don't want to see the champ on there for too long.
Yeah, it is. It is nice to see things change and the sport evolve.
But like, didn't Silva break his leg in the fight with Weidman?
Yes, the exact same way.
It's just like so weird.
Exactly, dude. Like Weidman breaks Silva's leg with a checked kick, and then he gets his leg broken with a checked kick. It's so strange. It's like a weird.
I used to watch UFC a lot more, and we would like religiously get a group of like 15 of us together to watch like all the pay-per-views every month, and we were paying like $5. But dude, I remember we were watching that one. Like, I'm not kidding. I think the whole room jumped up when he broke his leg in that fight. Like, we couldn't believe it.
It's really gross.
Because didn't he like try to step back onto it and just buckled?
Oh yeah, dude. But the thing is, you have so much adrenaline through you. There's no way he knew he broke it.
Oh,
like that's the thing. He didn't know until he put it down and it wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah, that was rough to watch.
Definitely.
It's just go like that. Yeah, it doesn't happen too often. Like when Connor broke his leg, that was like, ugh.
Yeah. No one wants to see a broken leg. That's kind of a bummer. Before we get out of the bare knuckles, let's have a look at some of these girls. Apparently they're all on. Oh well, yeah. I mean, they got the 3 hottest ones right up here to the advertise.
Girls.
Do I mention all 3 of these young ladies have an OnlyFans page?
Hey, you got to go to the fighters, man.
Yeah, let's have a look. See
I
what.
think these are just the ring girls.
Yeah, okay, you're probably right.
Yeah, those
I mean, I
those-
clicked. Oh yeah, bare knuckle bombshells.
Oh, they're doing tryouts for the ring girls. Oh, I guess they call them bombshells. That's funny.
All right, so fighters. Let's see. I guess we'll go to all fighters and see.
No, you can sort it at the top.
All right, yeah. No,
The
that's
drop
just
down
showing
head
you.
only go. No, if you highlight fighters, it showed women's division.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Oh yeah, here we go.
like
Women highlights at least.
Are you looking for who's got an OnlyFans? Oh, that
We're-
chick Jade Wong. She's got an OnlyFans. She's fucking smoking.
We're basically just looking to see if these girls are worth signing up for. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look at them tattoos and such. Okay.
Yeah, she just beat Starling. I'm sorry. She
Yeah.
was that was a great fight.
Good
Taylor
for her.
Starling, there you go. She's definitely got an OnlyFans too.
Taylor Starling. Let's have a look at her. Oh yeah.
Are these
Okay.
like? Are
She's
these
got
like?
she's got much more
Are
fights
these
under her
events
belt.
in like smaller venues?
It's got to
think
be
so.
obviously.
I mean, yeah, they got to be
They
smaller
got
than
to.
UFC venues.
For sure.
But I mean, like, are we saying like, are they fighting in something similar to like the UFC fight nights? Though, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I'd say it's about that size.
Fair enough. Let's see if we got what other women we got around here. So this girl looks like she's like obviously running the whole thing 7-1, and then not
She's
too
the
surprising.
champion, yeah.
Sort of looks like a dude, not gonna be an asshole, but no, let's be honest.
Yeah, she's on the same team as us.
Even this.
She's definitely a lesbian.
Oh yeah, definitely. This girl is pretty funny. She definitely also looks like she could kick my ass. Definitely wouldn't want to fight her. But yeah. Anyway, shout out to the OnlyFans girls over there at Bare Knuckle Boxing. Hope they continue to make their money. Any final thoughts here, Chris, about bare knuckle fighting, UFC fighting in general?
Well, bare knuckle. I like. I'm enjoying that these days. That's pretty good. So we'll see how this event turns out. UFC. What's interesting is Logan Paul's Prime is now a major sponsor. So instead of the red or blue corner, they're now Prime hydration stations as where
Wow.
fighters go between rounds.
I know a lot of people talk shit
Smart.
about the Paul brothers, but I like those two, and honestly, you gotta have respect for them too. Like Logan's over there in the WWE. His brother's Jake, right? Jake Paul.
Yeah.
They're
Heck of a
like
boxer.
they're getting it out there, man. Like
Yeah.
as much as you want to say about them, like they're smart about it.
For sure. I mean, being a huge sponsor like that in the UFC, that's huge, man. Good for him.
Oh yeah, Logan Paul's actually been training over there at City Kickboxing with Volk in Israel. So,
Because didn't he just sign with one of the leagues? I forget which one it is. To do like
he's
a
been
couple
teasing
MMA
for a
fights.
while that he might do that. So, yeah, he
Hey.
really might come over to do some MMA. That'd be cool.
Hey, I did have a question. Francis Ngannou, is it? Big old
Francis Ngannou.
He finally signed with somebody, right?
Yeah, he signed with ONE FC, and he couldn't make a deal with the UFC because obviously Dana's a cheap bastard, and he didn't want to. And he was asking for a lot of stuff apparently.
Like in addition to the contract, right?
Yeah. He wanted like some kind of ownership stake or whatever, and some kind of extra benefits and protections for the fighters. So
How
a lot
dare
of people
he?
turned him down. Yeah, and then ONE
I mean,
FC took him up
ownership's a
on
little
it.
much, but
Yeah,
I mean, not if you're going to something like ONE FC, that makes sense for him.
You know what?
Yeah.
They made him like a director or like chairman of like the Africa side of ONE FC. So they threw him some kind of title, and the best part is he guaranteed $2 million for any of his opponents. Anyone that fights him gets $2 million.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good for
so
him, man. Looking out for the
you
other guys too. That's cool.
exactly.
Dude, we might as well go step in the ring with him.
Yeah,
Make a quick
yeah.
$2 million.
Yeah, so
Dude, the brain damage you're gonna get from that knockout, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, who am I kidding? I'll hop in there for $2 million.
Exactly, dude. That's what a lot of
Look,
heavyweights are thinking.
You do it for free already, Steven.
This
Playing
is true.
rugby like we do it.
Well,
We do
hey,
it for
all right.
free.
I don't try to take that many headshots. It's not great.
Look, it was just one bad game this season.
But yeah, that's good for Francis, man. That's cool. He's out there looking out for other people and such. That's really cool.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't that what Jake Paul's been like? That's his whole beef with Dana White. Is that like he calls Dana White out over like not paying anybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's been a thing for years now.
Yeah, exactly. Dana's a cheap fuck, and everyone loves giving him shit for it.
Which as they should. Frankly,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
people out there fighting and putting their lives on the line, putting their brain damage, their bodies. Pay these guys, Dana. It's ridiculous.
I mean, but you kind of see that in like almost any contact sport. Like,
yeah,
NFL. There's an argument on if they're getting enough.
Yeah,
because like, if you're not playing the sexy positions that people are going to know your name, you don't get paid a lot.
This is true.
But you're still dealing with the same, damage as everybody else.
Absolutely. No, that's a good point.
So, I mean, yeah.
Final point on UFC. I know a lot of people have been saying that Dana's way too focused on this stupid slap league, which we here at Sports by Compian don't condone. We haven't covered it, and I don't know if we will because it just seems stupid to me. But what's your take on that, Chris?
Well, I mean, Dana, he's got his fingers in a lot of pies. He's got plenty of balls in the air. Yeah, the slap league's silly, and it's really aimed at a whole different set of fans. Like real MMA fans that they may like briefly glide through YouTube and watch someone take a big knockout slap, but like I don't know if they're really gonna come up with like real fans of the sport, that are like following the events and stuff, and I
don't see how you turn it into you can turn it into a ticketed event, but like, I mean, could you imagine like putting it at T-Mobile Arena like that? Like, come on, man.
No one's gonna go to that.
No, I don't know. No. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know.
I think to me it almost seems like a quick cash grab. Like he puts his name on it, it gets big because his name's on it, and he sells it off to someone else.
Yeah,
like
probably.
If that's what he's doing, respect it. But I don't know how you grow it from there.
No, good point.
Yeah, it's definitely some freak show stuff, and not for everyone.
I'd rather just watch people slap each other at the bar.
Which apparently, if you're drinking a Bud Light at the bar, someone may or may not come up and try to slap you. Be careful out there.
You heard it here first.
Dude, it's a thing. It's going on out there, apparently. Bar fights breaking out over fucking Bud Light.
Dude, look, I just bought a case of hams the other day, so ain't nobody worrying about me.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, guys, Chris or Dan, do you guys have any motivational last statements for our public here at Sports by Compian?
Don't slap your friends.
Oh, you go, Chris.
Don't slap your friends.
Unless it's in the bar.
Unless you're in the bar and they're drinking a Bud Light, in which case, maybe slap them.
Exactly. That's perfectly fine to slap your friends if they're drinking a Bud Light.
I have a buddy, Mr. Evan Anderson, a friend of the show, loves his Bud Light.
Oh, really? He actually likes the taste?
I don't know why he drinks it. I think everyone just takes their light beer.
The taste.
Yeah. I don't think anyone drinks Bud Light for the taste.
I'll buy the cheapest beer because I don't care.
Exactly. I mean, all that light beer kind of tastes the same to me. So, I really
you gotta make sure if you slap Evan or like slap anybody you record it, send it to Dana White because he might be on next season of slap.
Bro, good luck slapping Evan. That seems like a terrible idea. That man will fucking kill you.
A horrible idea.
Do not slap
No,
Evan Anderson, boys and girls. That is a terrible idea for you.
No, horrible idea. But hey, the man went swimming in Stowe, and it was like, I don't know how cold.
Oh,
And then
wow.
proceeded to wonder why he got sick. But
Yeah. But anyway, boys and girls, go ahead and slap your friends if you so choose. Sports by Compion. Out.